Hello, everyone. I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99. Why don't you do that impression of me again?
And I am Sandman99.
See that? You do have some bass vocal cords, eh?
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah. Anyway,
we're back with the adventures of Chef Perry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I almost forgot about that part. So just for you to catch up a little bit there, RecV5X, last year I did a short series of about a dozen episodes with my character, Chef Perry.
Yep.
And as you can see, Chef Perry is a little bit thick in the middle, and, he's not really a very physically fit guy.
Well, the beer will do that to you, right?
Yep. But anyway, the backstory is that I made up is that Chef Perry is actually an Institute escapee. Okay?
Oh, okay.
He was a scientist, and I'm using finger quotes there, in the Institute. But he was not really well regarded by his fellow Institute scientists because he wasn't really interested in making synths or, like making horrible monsters using, different extractions of the FEV, virus or whatever. He was more interested in the culinary arts.
Okay.
And so, of course, he was usually looked down upon and ridiculed by his peers, and he ended up doing a lot of the menial jobs that they had synths do, like emptying waste paper baskets and mopping the floor and that kind of thing. So he decided to leave. The only problem is that Chef Perry, because he spends most of his time in a state of inebriation, kind of screwed up when he was operating the teleporter, and he teleported himself into the middle of the glowing sea. So that's where I started. I started with this character in the crater of Adam.
Oh, fuck.
And, of course, I had to race to get out of the glowing sea, one, before I got irradiated to death.
Yep.
And two, before, a nasty critter that lives in the glowing sea caught up to me and ate me, right?
Yeah, really.
And, of course, I wandered into this abandoned shack, and I found a bunker below it.
Yep.
And I managed to, I was lucky, I was almost dead when I got there, but I managed to snipe and kill a few Institute synths that had occupied that bunker. And at the very bottom of that bunker was a set of power armor.
Yep.
So that power armor allowed me to make it the rest of the way out of the glowing sea without getting irradiated to death, at least.
Yep.
And I also run into some incredible luck by running into Duke from the Atom Cats somewhere in this neighborhood, too.
Okay, so you did some traveling with him?
So what happened is when you finish talking to Duke, he turns around and starts walking sort of, back eastward.
Yep.
And so I just walked back eastward with Duke because he is when I looked at him, he had a skull next to his name, so he was a considerably higher level character than me, and he's also
well-armored and well-armed.
Yeah, he was also wearing a set of T-60 power armor and all that kind of stuff, so I managed to get out of the glowing sea alive, and I came across this red rocket here at Natick Banks.
Nice.
And I've sort of, since then have spent most of my time in that series building this little settlement. And I've managed to attract a few settlers. I'm a little bit lean on resources. So what I did was I set up the junk farm type deal here.
Yep.
As you can see, the corn cob there spinning on the conveyor belt. So basically what happens is that I've got a couple of guys working as scavengers, and every time they put something into the workbench, well, it's automatically drawn out of the workbench by the suction hopper there,
right,
and onto this conveyor system. And then I actually put a splitter in here so that I've got a component sorter that sorts all of the junk items into this bin.
Yep.
And all of the other items, like food items, ammunition, like various fittings for things and stuff like that in here, right?
Yep.
As well as a few, things that I also picked up here, because I did manage to, do a little bit of adventuring around, and I figured out how to pick off the super mutants, and I hunted some death claws and that kind of thing with Chef Perry, who is now a level 10. And this is an extremely dangerous area, so I had to be fairly resourceful in how I did my hunting, right? Because when you're hunting death claws, when you're only like level 7, well, you'd better...
Yeah, you better not screw up.
Yeah. But anyway, today we're going to showcase the mod Cooking with Chef Perry.
All right.
Which is something that you had a hand in making as well.
Yep.
So we're sort of co-authors of that mod. And that's why I figured I'd invite you along.
Okay, sure.
Because I want to upload that mod to the Nexus sometime in the next day or two after this video is posted. Because as you know, when I post a mod to the Nexus, if there happens to be a relevant video, I will put a link to the video in the mod page too, right?
Yep.
But anyway, I guess we'll get started here. So, as you can see, first of all, everybody in the settlement wears a chef's hat.
Of course they do.
Because that's part of the uniform, right? You know, chef's hat. You see the guard standing up there, and he's got a chef's hat. There's another guard standing up there.
Yep.
That you can't see from here because he's on the other side of that little building, but he's also got a chef's hat. Basically, it's a requirement. If you're going to live in Chef Perry's settlement, you have to have a chef's hat. Okay?
Yeah, everybody needs to practice the culinary arts or at least look like it.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, I started doing some things like I put in a bathroom here and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I was going to kind of use this area as the kitchen area. So we'll get started here because Chef Perry, of course, to start things off, you need to have a, you know, some equipment. And so basically under crafting here, I created a few items. These ones, you know, basically I just used the model for, this is from Far Harbor.
Yep.
The campsite cook stove. And it's basically just like a normal cooking workbench, except that it looks like the campsite cook stove.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember us dicking around with this and trying to get the alignment right so that they'd actually stand and cook with it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually we did manage to figure it out so that it's not too bad. But we'll put our campsite cook stove there. And also the chef's barbecue. And you'll notice that you don't need local leader to build these. You need level 1, rank 1 blacksmith.
Yep.
Right? And I've already built a couple of these barbecues because I put this one here mainly for convenience. Like if I'm going to build some more buildings in here or something like that, I'll shut off the suction hopper there. And then I'll transfer the building materials I need back into the workbench through this cook station, right?
Chef Perry's just jamming shit into the...
Because that's how this kind of thing works.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a little teleporter in there and everything.
That's right. So it'll end up in the main settlement workbench, and then I don't have to pack around, you know, 85 units of steel or whatever if I'm going to be...
The Institute just couldn't understand his level of science.
That's right. Well, Chef Perry is... You know, he's a reasonably bright fellow, right? Like, he's got 8 intelligence. So, you know, he does have science a little bit and some chemistry knowledge and that kind of thing, as well as some hands-on mechanical knowledge so that he can, you know, build some of these things, right?
Yeah, it's just sticking a transporter, workbench transporter inside of a barbecue was only something that Chef Perry could think of.
That's right. And of course, there is one other thing in the settlement workshop menu as well that's very important. It's an important part of the mod, and it's under miscellaneous furniture. And we'll go over here too until we get to it. I always miss it too. I think I went past it already. These menus get to the point where they have so many things on them that you're just like cycling through these things forever. Okay, well maybe I didn't get to it yet. I can never remember whether this is under furniture miscellaneous or decoration miscellaneous.
Oh, which thing are you looking for?
I'm looking for Chef Perry's fridge. Maybe it's under decoration miscellaneous here. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Chef Perry's fridge.
Yeah, the other category has the Juntag washer and dryer.
That's right. So, anyway. Oh, okay, and it's not going to let me build one because of a glitch where if you only have one of a particular item, So I'm going to have to cheat and console some things in here. I'm
damn
probably
it.
going to have to console in one more medical thingy and one more nuclear material.
All right, well, I suppose we'll pause.
Yeah, we'll pause while we do that. Okay.
And we're back.
Yes, and now we should be able to make this stupid thing.
Yeah, after several typing errors and other things.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. For some reason, there's a bug in Fallout 4 where sometimes if you have exactly the amount of materials needed to make a particular thing, it won't let you make it.
Which is so weird.
Yeah, like it's so weird that it does that. But anyway, here we go. We got Chef Perry's fridge.
They probably store the quantity of a thing as a floating point number and then try to do an equality comparison on it, and some fucked up thing happens.
Yeah, well, anyway. We'll put Chef Perry's fridge back there. And I'm not sure if I have anything in my aid here that I can... maybe we can have a quick look in here, so we can demonstrate what Chef Perry's fridge does. Yeah, we have a Nuka-Cola here. Okay, so we'll grab that Nuka-Cola and we'll go around here. We have Chef Perry's fridge, and we'll transfer. And as you can see in our inventory here, we have a Nuka-Cola. And when we put the Nuka-Cola into Chef Perry's fridge, it instantly becomes an ice-cold Nuka-Cola.
Yep.
So there we go. That's what Chef Perry's fridge does. And it only works for vanilla beverages that have a vanilla ice-cold version.
That's right.
Like, for example, if we go to put in, say, purified water. Well, there is no ice-cold purified water in the vanilla game, so therefore it just stays as purified water, right?
That's right.
We would have to actually, within this mod, we would actually have to create an item called ice-cold purified water.
Yes.
Right.
Or we would have to make like a patch for like every single mod out there
Yeah,
that adds a beverage type,
that's right.
which would be a nightmare.
But anyway, so we've got our cooking stations, right? We got 2 cooking stations here. We got the campsite cook stove, and we also have the chef's barbecue. Okay. And so we'll go over here and we'll use the campsite cook stove to make some stuff. And we have here, first of all, Chef Perry's home brew, which is basically we can make our own beer. Okay. And I don't have the necessary ingredients to make my own beer right about now, because I already made a whole crap ton of it.
Yep.
But if you had mute fruit, purified water, razor grain, and some form of beer bottle, and of course the reason I have, like 7 recipes for beer in here is because there's like 7 different types of beer bottle, right? And each of these has its own unique ID within the game, which is why I had to make multiple recipes to make beer.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, that was the first step. Then we go to cook with Chef Perry. And there are a number of recipes. So we have Chef Perry's hangover cure, which, as you can see, is a healing item that also removes radiation. And of course, the ingredients are purified water, Radaway, and whiskey.
Of course. Yeah. You can't have a hangover cure without some whiskey.
That's right. And then we have fish and chips and a beer, okay, which is angler meat, 6 beers, and a Tato. And I had to cheat a little bit here in console in some angler meat because Chef Perry has never been to Far Harbor.
Yep.
And that's the only place you can get it. And of course, there are numerous recipes for fish and chips and a beer because there are several different types of beer.
That's right. Yep.
In the game. And again, each type of beer has its own unique ID. Right?
Yep. Which naturally facilitates this type of duplication, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I created my own sub-menu, though, within the cooking menu.
So it's all sorted.
So it's all sorted. And then, of course, we have fried cram and eggs in a beer. So we need 6 beers and some cram and a Mirelurk egg for that. And again, because there's numerous types of beer, I've got several recipes to make the same thing.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have Mystery Meat Surprise, which you need Blamco mac and cheese, a couple of bourbon, bottles of bourbon, and some mole rat meat. And then we have peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a beer. Again. And we have Riesling and crab cakes. So you have wine, razor grain, oil, and Mirelurk meat.
Fancy.
And we have toast and jam and a beer. So you need wild tarberry to make the jam.
Yep.
And then razor grain, of course, to make the toast. And we have vodka melon. Vodka melon is a really handy item that not only heals you, but boosts your strength and charisma by 3 points, although it does make you dumber for the duration of it too, right?
Yeah, well, you know, as long as you can carry more shit, that's really all that matters.
Yeah, really.
And you can talk to people better.
Yeah. And then we finally, at the bottom here, we have whiskey, pork, and beans. So, of course, you need whiskey and pork and beans for this.
Yep.
And we also have Zinfandel steak and potatoes.
Ah.
So you need an Instamash Salisbury steak and a couple of bottles of wine.
Classy.
Yeah. So we'll make some of this stuff, at least as much stuff as we can. So we'll make these, and of course you get a little bit of XP for making them too.
Yeah,
right?
see, the best way to avoid a hangover is to just not stop drinking.
Yeah. And so then we'll make our fried cram and eggs. And we'll make our mystery meat surprise. We'll make only just one. We'll save the other bourbon for the last thing. And we have a PBJ sandwich and a beer. And Riesling and crab cakes. And vodka melon. And Zinfandel steak and potatoes. And we can make a couple of those. And then we'll just go up here and check and make sure. Oh, looks like we can, in fact, make some more mystery meat surprise. So we'll
there
do
you
that
go.
too. So anyway.
Meals for a long time.
Yeah. So anyway, these are, you know, they count as food items if
Yep.
you're hungry. Although you have to eat 2 of them, right? They only count as like they're not a full food item, like say eating a can of cram or eating a Deathclaw steak or something
Yep.
like that, where you only have to eat 1 item. They're more like a mole rat chunk or a mutt chop or something where you have to eat 2 of them.
Yep.
Right? But also, the healing items, just like food, because they're basically food items, so you don't get the benefits here unless you're fully fed, too, right?
Yep.
Which is why it's a good idea to carry other food items around with you, because these are very powerful healing items, right? Although in survival, it takes a hell of a long time for the healing to complete, right?
Yep.
So, anyway... there you go. We've got, we still got 6 beers left too. But anyway, we've got our Chef Perry's Hangover Cure, which instantly removes 100 rads, and also over time will heal another 450. And this one, by the way, as your chemist perk improves, like as you spend more perks on chemistry, this one becomes more powerful.
Okay.
So eventually you get a very, very high values for hit points and rads for healing, right?
Yep.
And of course, the one drawback to Chef Perry's recipes are they tend to be quite heavy because you're carrying 2 or more bottles of liquor along with the recipe food item, right? So, for example, with fish and chips and a beer, well, it weighs 6 arbitrary weight units because you're basically consuming a 6-pack of beer along with the fish and chips, right?
That's right.
So, anyway, and of course you'll notice that it's a combination thing where you get the healing benefit plus the food benefit if you're, you know, like if you're hungry.
Yep.
Plus you also get the buff to strength and charisma and the debuff to intelligence, just like if you drank the liquor, right?
Yep.
And of course there's fried cram and eggs and beer. Okay, I did get a number of ice-cold beverages here, too. And that's just something we can show that it's from a different mod, really. Anyway, and we also have Mystery Meat Surprise. And the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a beer.
Damn, peanut butter jelly is a great healing item.
That's right, it is. That being said, though, you know, like, again, the weight of it is 6, right?
Yeah, so it's
You
a
know,
much
like,
heavier thing.
Yeah, like, you can't carry, you know, like 20 of these things around because, especially in survival, you would not have the ability to carry that much, right?
Yeah, well, you know, putting the nanomachine injectors inside the peanut butter and jelly sandwich in order to heal you up really takes up a lot of space in it.
Yeah, and then Riesling and crab cakes, and of course it gives you the ability to breathe underwater if you didn't already have Aqua Boy, right? As a perk. And then we have the vodka melon, which is my personal favorite.
You're a big fan of the vodka melon,
oh yeah, because when you're out there looting the Commonwealth and you run out of carrying capacity, you slam down a vodka melon, and now your strength score suddenly is 3 points higher, and you can carry a whole bunch more stuff, right?
Yep.
So, anyway, and then we have the Zinfandel steak and potatoes, So that's a little bit of cooking. There is one more thing to show off with the Cooking with Chef Perry mod. And that, of course, is where did all the chef's hats that these settlers are wearing come from? See, there's another one there. So if you go to the chemistry station, and we go to Combat Chef, well, here we can build a barbecue chef's visor.
Okay.
Or a combat chef's hat. Or a combat chef's jacket.
Nice.
Okay. So... And of course, they have nice, you know, like armor abilities and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Chef Perry is, of course, not wearing a combat chef's jacket because he's wearing a unique legendary jacket that I made from a different mod altogether called Chef Perry's Smock.
Yep.
Okay. And it is a legendary item that has that auto stim pack, I think, or something like that. If you get injured below 20% or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Chef Perry's hat is also a legendary item too. So anyway, I made a Chef Perry's hat because I saw that there was a settler out there somewhere that
was in need of a hat.
Was in need of a hat. There he is over there. And luckily it's a he. Huh. Because he's wearing this outfit that's all one piece.
I just want to trade a few things. Sure thing.
So as soon as I give him the combat chef's hat and equip it, well, he's going to be in his tidy whities for a little while until I get enough materials to make him a chef's jacket.
You could just leave him that way. You know, it's part of the uniform.
Yeah.
No, the uniform doesn't have any.
He's still in uniform technically.
There you go. Yeah. See, he meets the minimum requirements for service.
Actually, I should have a look here and see if. We got any more, maybe we got some more steel out of, or something that has steel in it. Here.
It's because when they're scanning you from the top down to see if you have pants and shoes to determine if you're going to have service or not, well, they see the hat and then they just stop there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody respects the chef's hat. Oh, those are silver. Silver. I managed to find a merchant and buy a shipment of wood. But I'm hard up for steel right now because I basically built the entire fence surrounding this settlement out of chain link fence because that's what I had to build with at the time. Oh, okay, that has steel in it. So we'll take that hacksaw. I think that'll be enough. We'll take that hacksaw and we'll go up here. And we'll go back into Combat Chef here, and we'll make a Combat Chef's jacket for that poor guy so he doesn't have to run around in his underwear. While we're up here, we'll go and get a drink of water. And we'll have a bite to eat. And if we look at our wonderful items now, you'll notice that you still get the characteristic buffs.
Yep.
But you don't get the healing benefit, and that works just the same way as any food item, right?
Yep.
So if you look at, say, pork and beans, well, that has a small healing value as well, but right now it has a healing value of 0 because you're hungry, right?
Yep.
And so we can, in fact, eat well, let's eat Zinfandel steak and potatoes. We also get a bottle cap from that. And, what else can we eat here? Maybe we'll eat some mystery meat surprise there. And it says now you are properly fed.
Yep.
Right? Which means now when I go back in here and look, well, now I'll look at, see, I've got the healing value of this stuff back. And I know I just wasted a couple of strong healing items, but I wanted to demonstrate that, right?
Ah, that's fine.
So let's go back and find that guy now, and we'll give him a chef's jacket so that he at least can... Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit breezy to be farming out here in the tidy whities.
Yeah. Hey, come
I
on.
just need to trade gear
Nice
with
to
you.
see the Commonwealth hasn't gotten you yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we are in Boston after all. This isn't Miami.
Yeah.
If you were
Okay.
farming in Miami, by all means farm in your tidy whities.
So anyway,
right?
this guy is going to be very heavily armored now, right? Because he's got the full set, the combat chef's jacket and the hat,
Yep.
right? So there you go. He's looking very spiffy and very stylish, right? But anyway, maybe what we'll do is we'll pause briefly while I clean up the inventory here, because now that we have kind of demonstrated the Chef Perry mod, cooking with Chef Perry, we've kind of shown off what it does and what it's capable of and all that kind of good stuff.
Yep.
And so maybe we'll pause for a moment while we do a little inventory management.
Sounds like a plan. And we're back.
Yes, and it's getting to be nighttime, so we're going to have Chef Perry go and have a little nap for a few hours. But before we do, this is actually a different mod by somebody who did a mod where you add in refrigerators that work.
Yep.
And it works a little differently than Chef Perry's fridge, because Chef Perry's fridge, the result is instant, right?
Yep.
Whereas with this, you can actually put any kind of beverage in and create an ice-cold version of it, so long as this guy, you know, basically created the items, right?
Yep.
And he did create a lot of items, because you can make ice-cold Bobrov's moonshine, for example, although it doesn't seem to have any extra benefit. It just becomes ice-cold. You know, like basically ice-cold Nuka beverages, ice-cold beer, those are all vanilla items, right?
Yeah.
That we could make in Chef Perry's fridge, too, if we wanted to. But what I'm looking for is purified water. So I'm going to put these 2 purified water in this fridge. And it isn't instant like Chef Perry's fridge is, right? It works over time.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll jump into bed here and we'll sleep for, 9 hours, I guess. Because it actually takes game time to chill it, the way that the guy wrote it. I guess he like,
Yeah, he put a timer in the script, probably.
yeah.
Whereas my script is very simple. It just translates one item to another type.
Yep. Yeah, see, now we've got ice-cold purified water. And that's because the guy who made the refrigerator mod actually made ice-cold purified water.
Yep,
Right.
as a separate item.
Yeah. So anyway, during the course of Chef Perry's adventures up to this point, we've pretty much stripped this entire area around this lake of any usable resources.
Yep.
And there are some areas that respawn from time to time, kind of like Bedford Station. But if you go over them enough times, well, then it seems like they need to take a rest for a while. So I think what we're going to do here with Chef Perry, and I even ranged all the way out to here, looking for things like that's where I got that medical liquid nitrogen dispenser thingamajig, right? Is at the Greater Mass Blood Clinic. I had to go there to get one so that I could make Chef Perry's fridge,
Yep.
right? Although I had to console a second one in because the damn game wouldn't let me make the fridge unless I had one extra unit, right?
Yeah, stupid programming errors.
Yeah. But anyway, I think what we're going to do is we're going to head for Diamond City. So here's a Deathclaw that I killed. My favorite technique with low-level characters like this for killing things like Deathclaws is to find some place high where they can't get to me, or at least can't get to me right away, and then plink at them a couple of times, and when they start to chase me, I run like mad back toward the settlement where my gun turrets basically shred the thing, right?
Yep. They just shoot the shit out of it.
And that is Deathclaw hunting made easy. And
Yeah, well, there's probably super strong gun turrets from this far away too, right?
Yeah. And people who watch the original Chef Perry series, which I guess will continue with this episode, will have seen me hunting Deathclaws with Chef Perry and shooting a stunted Yao Guai with a revolver and that kind of thing.
God.
I even took out this bunch of raiders up here. And the way I did it is that I actually went and I cleaned out the Poseidon facility over here of the feral ghouls.
Yep.
And that was hard. I actually damn near died a couple of times doing that. And that was also done as part of a Chef Perry episode. And then I used the catwalk way up there by that big stack.
And just sniped them?
And I happen to have, this is the piece of equipment that Chef Perry started with. I happen to have an Institute rifle with a long-range scope. And
how lucky.
I'm starting to run out of fusion cells for it because I've been using this weapon and leaning on it fairly heavily.
So you got to ration the rounds.
So
for when
yeah,
you need
I have to really save them for when I need them because otherwise I'll run out. But yeah, that's what I was using to pick off the raiders over there, and I was far enough away that even the guy who was on the roof of the motel there with the missile launcher couldn't target me because he couldn't see me, right?
Yep.
So I just sat up there and I picked them off from extreme range.
Well, I guess you've got a reason now, though, to head north, right? Running out of ammunition.
I'm running out of ammunition. I need to go to Diamond City and do some shopping because there are no shops at Chef Perry's settlement. So we're going to follow the road here. And I did come part way this way already because you might have noticed that I've got like 3 power armor frames up there on the roof of the Red Rocket.
Yep.
And one of them is from here. So I think I got about this far, got the power armor frame, and then I turned around and took it back, right? And, like that's because, and that actually will be kind of fun to play around with too, now that I've made a mod where I can make my own power armor parts.
Yeah, that's another new mod that you just made, what, yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday. But that's an entire another story, and we're not going to get into that with Chef Perry, because Chef Perry is the cook. What do we got up here? Radstag dough. Okay. Okay, a few Radstag doughs. Let's see what happens here.
You're making him frosty. Oh, he's slowed. Significantly slowed because of the cryo on that little...
Yeah, this is the Ruger Mark V.
Yep.
And what happens is because Chef Perry has science and he doesn't really have... much in skill in the way of gun nut kind of thing, but he has some science, is that he can put special effect receivers on this Ruger Mark V. So what happens is that I've got okay, here we go. So it's basically got the receiver 1 science, right? And it's got the cold receiver on it, so it does cold damage, and will also, as you can see, normally with the even with the legendary weapons that do cold damage, you have to have some sort of special thing happen, like you have to successfully block a melee attack or score a critical hit or something like that, right?
Yep. But these ones are just
these ones have that cold effect, like immediately, right?
Yep. And that makes them pretty strong, even though they're just a pea shooter.
That's right. And you can also fit these Ruger Mark Vs with fire if you want to, so it has sort of like the same effect as Incendiary does.
But the cryo is probably more useful because it slows.
Yeah. And of course it shoots 38 caliber ammunition, which is good.
Very plentiful.
And it also has, like you can set it up with a nice reflex sight like that. You can put like a 3 times or even a 6 times scope on this thing too.
Yep.
But personally, I find that the 3x scope, the way it's made, it's really hard to see through. And the
6x scope is too much magnification.
The 6x scope is too much magnification to make this weapon useful at close range, right? We're just going to pick up a few things here.
Getting some supplies.
Yep. Well, you always have to loot, right? Like, it's... More purified water. I've got lots of purified water. It's just ice cold, right? See if we look in here. I've got 19 ice cold purified water. And basically the difference with the guy who made the fridge mod is he basically made ice cold purified water heal 50% more.
Yep.
Than regular purified water does, right? Which is actually kind of cool. I like that idea. Wish I'd thought of it myself, but you know, that's okay.
Yeah,
I have the fridge mod too. It works quite nicely. We're gonna grab this stuff because I can make more of Chef Perry's dishes out of that. Like, those are the ingredients for that kind of thing.
Yep.
So anyway, we'll march on through the. And one of the reasons I'm not being really affected by the Radstorm is because I have a fair amount of radiation protection from Chef Perry's hat, right?
Yep.
Like, I've got 200 radiation protection from Chef Perry's hat, which almost completely negates the radiation from a Radstorm, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't protect you if you were like standing next to a couple of radioactive barrels or something, but against a Radstorm, it's fine.
Well, actually, getting out of the glowing sea without being irradiated to death was still pretty iffy too. Even with this. Even with 200 radiation protection, that's not enough.
Yeah, because the radiation from that is just too much.
Yeah, that's right.
It just, because the way that damage resistance works in this game is it's like a logarithmic curve. And so if you have under the required amount of defense for something, you basically take full damage from it anyways.
Yeah, I really wish that they had
Looks like you could
kept
use a
the
little
system that they
cleanup.
used.
Am I right?
Okay, sure. What do you
Let's
got
see
for
what you
sale
got.
there, Stash?
Exactly what you need.
Nothing that you need.
Nothing that I need. I mainly would be interested in things like antibiotics. But that's okay.
No
I can
funny
make my own antibiotics anyway. But like I said, I wish that they had kept the Fallout New Vegas system of damage resistance and damage threshold and that kind of thing, because it was simple and it was easy to understand.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And you
right?
could tell exactly based on the strength of a weapon how deadly that weapon would be compared to you.
Yeah.
And in whose hands.
And whereas here, I mean, with Chef Perry's smock on and all that kind of stuff, I mean, I've got 110 ballistic resistance and 50 energy resistance, and I've got a bit of resistance against poison and fire and cold, right?
Yep, and that might sound like a lot, but it's actually dick all.
No, it is actually very poor. If I were to meet up with like a group of super mutants or something like that right now,
They'd shred you right quick.
I'd better run for my life. But the thing is, though, with Chef Perry, I did not choose things like toughness, and that kind of thing to start off with.
Yeah, you chose things that would...
Yeah, as in the process of leveling up, I did pick the first rank of Lone Wanderer, which helps to reduce the incoming damage.
Yep.
And when I get to the point where I qualify for the next one, I will take it too.
Because that's a huge, huge buff.
Yeah, and I will not be, with this character, I will not be adventuring with companions until this character is probably at least level 40, level 50. Because by then, you'll be robust enough that you'll be able to survive when your companion, basically screws the pooch and gives you away while you're sneaking, or picks a fight with something a whole lot meaner than you want to pick a fight with, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then the fact that you don't get the damage reduction from Lone Wanderer, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's something else that has to be accounted for.
And that's why companions are actually such a liability rather than a help, because not only do they get you into all kinds of trouble that you could probably easily avoid otherwise,
You lose a bunch of buffs.
you lose a bunch of buffs that would prevent you from taking damage when they do screw up and get you in trouble, right? I actually really, really hate the way that companions in this game work. And the only time that I ever actually adventure with a companion is for the sake of the particular storyline.
Yep.
Because, you know, like, I know that it's a matter of time
Before they get you killed.
before they do something stupid and get me killed, right?
Yeah, this up here is an encounter hotspot too.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm approaching it with caution. And I saw that there's a bunch of scavengers there.
And it sounds like they're fighting with something now too.
Yeah, well, quite often they'll be matched up against a couple of robots, and that's what this looks like now. And you see that Mr. Gutsy there,
Yeah, he'll shred you pretty
with
good.
the skull beside his name, and you see the tiny amount of damage that I'm capable of doing. Even if I switch to, like, a pretty good weapon like this one,
It's just not enough.
it's just not enough, right?
So it's best to sneak and avoid this encounter.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got a 44 pistol, believe it or not. You know, like I've got a 44 revolver that I put a see-through scope, a 4x scope on,
Yep.
because in a pinch I can use it as a sniper weapon too, right? So long as the range isn't too great.
But even then, you wouldn't want to
But
mess
even
with
then,
Mr.
this
Gutsy.
is a 44 revolver, and look at the damage.
Not
right?
only that, he's coming this way, so
Yes.
you might want to get even more off the
So
road
we need
here.
to, we need to head around behind this house here, because if that guy sees me, I'll probably get hurt real bad.
You're going to get hurt real bad.
Yeah, I'm going to get hurt real bad. So it looks to me like I better have something to eat again here. And of course, one of the perks that I did pick too in the process of leveling up was, well, actually, no, I didn't take it, because I'm actually benefiting here, not taking rads, from eating some of this food that gives you rads because of the
Chef
hat.
Perry.
Because
Oh,
of,
yeah, because of the hat, yeah.
because of, yeah, it's one of Chef Perry's superpowers, right? He doesn't suffer radiation damage from eating uncooked food, right? Like this, I could actually, let's see here. Okay, I don't have any book stuff, really. Okay. Let's go back up here then. We'll save. We'll have some crispy squirrel bits and some bubble gum. How about that? There. And I didn't take any radiation damage from that because of the radiation resistance from my chef's hat. I'm far enough away now that I can probably get back on the road here. Okay. We're good now. So, we'll keep on heading this way, and by the sounds of it, there's a big gun battle in process here, and I think I know what that is. Because this is the first time that I've approached Diamond City with Chef Perry, since I started playing the game with him.
Yep.
So there's going to be a big gun battle going on here between the Fens Sheriff's Department, not Diamond City Security, but the Fens Sheriff's Department, and this bunch of super mutants in here.
Yeah, and the Fens Sheriff's Department are going to make quick work of them.
Oh yeah, the Fens Sheriff's Department can handle themselves, man. They're look at that guy. He's got a right. See that? I'm plinking away at that thing, and I'm not actually doing very much damage, right?
Yep.
It's like a texture didn't load here or something. Too.
Yeah, you're still stuck with the low-res texture on the side of that building.
Yeah, we'll pause for a moment.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and now the texture of the building is loaded, and now we can do some stuff here, but...
Yeah, we just ended up saving and reloading the game.
Yeah, well, you have to do that every now and then.
Just a Bethesda issue.
So I'm using a 10mm pistol here, and it's actually a legendary 10mm pistol with the Hunter's Legendary, so it does 50% more damage against animals.
Sadly, that won't help you against these super mutants.
Yeah, well, it didn't appear to help me very much against the super mutant hounds either.
I guess they don't count as animals.
I don't know. Pretty hard to hit those guys, too.
No, they're pretty dug in cover there. Pretty
Yep.
strong position.
Oh, it looks like that's it. So we got 1, 2,
Mutant
3.
sure hard to kill, huh? Thanks for the assist.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll collect some stuff from these mutant hounds and things. The mutant hounds are extraordinarily dangerous, actually. They're even worse than the super mutants are now.
Yep.
Because their bite damage is just enormous.
Yeah, and there's no way to reduce it either, is there?
Well, they're animals, I think, technically. So if you have like the armor legendary that reduces damage from animals, then I think that that will help you.
But you can't have animals and mutant reduction.
No. Well, I mean, you'd have to have multiple pieces of armor with all that stuff, right? Anyway, it's time to have a drink of water now. But that's why I was being pretty cautious and kind of hanging back and, you know, shooting around the corner and then taking cover and that kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Because those super mutants probably had the ability to, if not one-shot me, then at least seriously hurt me.
Indeed.
And I found that I don't hide behind this because this apparently has no collision. Like, they can shoot you right through it.
How
for some
weird.
reason. Yeah, it's weird, but apparently this junk wall section does not provide any cover at all.
So you hide back here instead.
That's why I hide here and peek around the corner and kind of shoot at them, you know, that way, right? But anyway, I have to make do with what I've got here, so that's why I've got the 10mm pistol, and I've actually, you know, like, had quite a bit of success playing with higher level characters with the 10mm pistol. If you invest in Gunslinger,
It scales well.
it scales well, and the 10mm pistol, you know, like I'm using that gun with some characters that are like level 100 or better, and still able to take down death claws with them and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, because once you get all the perks all stacked up, it does a ton of damage.
Yep. And the 10mm pistol particularly too, because you can put a suppressor on it at a relatively low level too, right?
Yep.
And then if you get the other perk, the ninja perk, I think it is, where you get buff damage from suppressed weapons.
Yep. And then do you prefer the automatic receiver on it, or...
It depends. This gun here, I would probably leave it as a semi-auto gun.
Just because of the scope?
But if the gun has wounding or poisoner or incendiary or explosive,
Oh, okay.
then I would go with the auto version, right?
Because you want to get as much of that effect as possible.
Yeah, because the special effects will stack nicely. Okay, so I can carry a little bit more stuff, so I can kind of strip some of this guy's armor and things. Okay. Grab this guy's stuff too. See, with Super Mutant Redux, when you break down their armor at a workbench, you get like a ton of stuff for it, eh? 4570s, which I don't have any use for right now, and I won't bother picking up that other junk. I'm not really in a position where I've got enough room to carry everything that I might want to pick up, so I just can't.
Yep.
And I think we can grab that plunger for the wood. And we can get a little bit of ammunition out of here.
Oh, more 38 ammunition for your Ruger.
Yeah. Okay, there, now I'm overloaded. But we'll keep picking that stuff up anyway.
Vodka Mela time.
Yep, it's time for
Vodka Melon.
vodka melon. Okay, so that's still not enough, so we're still going to have to drop something.
God damn, it's probably the super mutant armor.
Yeah, some pieces of it can be quite heavy. We'll just see what the heaviest piece is. Yeah, there. See that one there?
14. Yeah, drop one of those and now you're good.
Yeah, now I'm good. So we'll just carry as much of it as we can, because there is an unoccupied Red Rocket settlement nearby that we can go to. Did I go over here and grab these things out of this thing? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, we'll head on over this way. I got enough room now, I can grab this.
Looking for Diamond City?
But as you can see, the Fens Sheriff's Department is somewhat better armed and armored than... because even these guys, they're wearing basically the equivalent of combat armor.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they make Diamond City security look like a joke, because they are a joke.
Yeah, the original vanilla Diamond... Even the Diamond City security officers are equipped very similarly to these guys, right?
Yep.
So they have a variety of different types of weapons, and they have, you know, like the uniform with the, you know, like the armored uniform and that kind of thing.
Yep.
You should get inside
And
the city.
quite a few different things, you know, even different hats and headgear and that kind of stuff too. It's pretty cool.
What do you mean you can't open the gate?
Oh, look, there's Cricket.
I got so many flavors of mayhem for sale.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
Come
there.
on,
See,
come on.
Chef Perry's hammered.
Yeah.
By the way, as part of the Cooking with Chef Perry mod, I extended the duration of alcohol effects too.
Oh, okay.
So every vanilla alcoholic beverage in the game now lasts for much, much longer. So you'll continue to give drunken greetings to NPCs, and you'll continue to have the buffs
Yep.
and debuffs that apply to drinking alcohol for much longer, right?
Yeah, well, it just
Like
wasn't long enough to be fun before.
Yeah, well, basically it's the equivalent of several game hours.
Yep.
You know, in-game hours, rather than a minute and a half or whatever the original thing was, right?
Well, what did they think you're drinking? American beer?
Yeah, really. Anyway, I'm going to see if I've got anything here that I can sell to Cricket. Oh boy. Okay, so I could sell an extra mine. Yeah, sure. Let's sell all of these extra guns too. Not going to get much for them. I'm definitely not going to be able to afford Creeping Death this time around, that's for sure. But maybe I can raise enough money that I can afford to buy some more fusion cells for my rifle.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I can sell cigarettes. Cigarettes are worth a cap each. So there you go, right? I can sell her 162 cigarettes. Now, let's see what you got here. Do you have some... Yeah, she's got 106 fusion cells. So that's 636 caps. So I'll buy them all. And then I guess I can sell her another... I'll keep some cigarettes to smoke, but I'll sell her another 300 cigarettes.
Yeah, now Chef Perry has just handed his bandolier of cigarettes off.
Hey, that at least it gives you a reason to save them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what else I've got here. Oh, look at that. That's worth 350. Wow.
Nice.
Maybe I'll sell her that. Because I've never actually figured out how to use that. That comes with the Super Mutant Redux mod.
Ah.
And I think you can use this in some way to craft some kind of a projectile weapon or something that you can use against super mutants, right?
I see.
To basically one-shot super mutants kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Because they're so strong in Super Mutant Redux, but I don't really have much use for that because I have no idea how to use it, first of all. And there isn't really, like, I know there's a sort of a set of instructions, but you have to stumble across them. Okay, so what do I need for ammunition here? I could buy a few 44 rounds maybe, or some 10mm rounds. That would probably be better. She's got 67 10mm rounds for sale.
And they don't cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, so we'll buy those. And then we'll, what was I going to sell her? Oh, yeah. I was going to sell her that FEV cure like new. Yeah. So now I'm more or less back to where I started with her, right?
Yep.
You know, like I ended up giving her some of her money back, but I'm more or less back where I started. I could sell these 45-70s because I don't have a gun to shoot them with anyway. And I don't expect that I will have anytime soon. And I guess that puts us in pretty decent shape as far as ammunition and that kind of thing goes. So what I'm going to do before I go over here and investigate what Piper's up to, we'll just do a
Quick save.
quick save here, just so that we don't get messed up with some of that stuff. And then we'll head on over here, because there is actually a workbench that we could use over here and that kind of thing. So here we are. We have discovered the Red Rocket Boston. Okay. So we'll just break down some of this super mutant armor. And I don't think I have any weapons to break down. Although I've got some really crazy dumb weapons from being out there in the middle of nowhere and picking up things. Well, I guess I do have a couple of boards to break down. I have a Furious board. And it happened to come with the bladed... Well, or I may have put it on there myself, because I do have qualifications for it.
Yep.
But basically, it's the Furious bladed board, which does more damage after each consecutive hit. Right? Absolutely useless. So, anyway, in order to put an advanced receiver on this gun, I need rank 2 gun nuts. So, I guess I probably got everything that I can do with this for the time being. So, we'll head on over to Diamond City.
And now you've got some business to take care of.
Yep.
The
Well,
usual business.
actually, I did come over here with the intention of
shopping at Diamond City, anyways.
yeah, shopping at Diamond City to buy some more ammunition for my laser rifle, actually. But
Cricket solved that problem.
Cricket solved that problem, at least
Here the
temporarily.
different raider groups are carving up Concord like Christmas turkey.
But that's okay. We'll come over here and talk to Piper anyway. And I've never actually done this before because I've never played a male character other than Chef Perry.
What? Who are you?
What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. No need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before Danny catches on the bluff.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Another great day in Diamond City.
Piper, who let you back inside?
Sounds like there's another gun battle going on somewhere not far away. What's... Wow. It must be, like, really not far away. Okay, well, we'll just go and take part in this anyway.
Newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatened to throw free speech in the dumpster.
Sure, I
Always
support
believed
the
in
news.
freedom of the press.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. spend your money, settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
What are you two arguing about, anyway?
What do you think? Print lies and
Oh,
everybody's
there's
happy.
Danny going
Print the
back to
truth.
his post behind the counter.
Problem solved.
Was there anything particular you came to our city for?
Yeah, I want to trade.
Just looking to trade a little.
Oh, very well then.
Well, whatever you do, don't bother going to Diamond City Security for help.
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find
So
help.
there are some kind of
Diamond City
awkward
has
moments here
every
because we're
conceivable
experiencing
service known to man. One of
this
our great
encounter
citizens can surely
after
find the
doing an
time.
alternate start where we haven't started from the vault
Yep.
and we're not looking for our son and all that kind of stuff.
A mayor of a great city, I know everyone. Who can help me?
Well, there is
Charismatic.
one
Probably from the
price
vodka
citizen.
melon.
Nick Valentine. a
That's right, I get a
detective,
+3
of course, who
charisma
specializes
boost from
in
the
tracking
vodka melon.
usually for debt or whatnot. Now, I have to get going. I'm sorry, Diamond City Security doesn't have time to help, but I'm sure Mr. Valentine charges a reasonable fee.
This is ridiculous. I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security always shrivels away when talk of missing persons
I've had
comes
enough of
up?
this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. I'm impressed. Not everyone can claw information out of McDonough's tight-fisted hands. Why don't you stop by my office after you see Valentine? I think I just found my next story.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to have a drink of water again now. I'll have to drink some ice cold purified water. And what is that condition thing? Oh, nicotine addiction. Okay.
Yeah, you need to have a smoke.
I need to have a smoke. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take care of that in a bit here. We'll talk to Danny.
So, you're that trader Piper was talking about. Something tells me she's pulled the wool over my eyes again. Am I right?
I didn't mean to lie, officer. It all just happened so fast.
You're not the first guy Piper pulled into a heap of trouble he wasn't ready for. Thanks for being honest. If it were up to me, we would have just let the wait in. But the mayor's calling the shots, and, well, you saw how mad he is. Anyway, welcome to Diamond City and all that. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, see there's Deacon hiding in the corner there. Did you notice, did he come running out too, or did he just stay there?
I actually didn't notice.
Anyway, I'm going to go over here and see what the hell it was that they were all shooting at. Oh, dogs. Ooh. Okay, I don't know if I can wear leg armor with this outfit. Yeah, it looks like Jeff Perry's smock takes up all of the
slots.
So, there we go. I guess I can sell it or something. So these dogs were actually able to chew up that gun turret, hey?
Tasty, tasty gun turret.
Yeah.
I suppose
Okay.
you are getting closer and closer to Sanctuary now, though, so those gun turrets will be weaker.
I don't know. Well, not very close to Sanctuary right now, but anyway, I guess I can probably do some more looting and stuff later, but, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go into town. Okay, so we'll do the quick save thing. See, that is such a good mod. Way back in 2015 or 2016, I think that mod was first made.
That quick save mod?
Yep. And it still works flawlessly, and it's absolutely necessary when you're playing on survival, because you get, you know, even with all the patches and that kind of thing, you
You
still
get bugs and
you still
crashes to
get
desktop.
bugs and crashes and things like that, and it's good to be able to save the game, especially before you go through a loading screen, right?
Yeah, well, it sucks when you're playing and then, you know, you haven't slept in how long, or whatever, and then your game crashes, right?
Yeah.
Lose like a whole shitload of play hours.
Kiddo. How are the paper sales?
Yep. Well, that's one of the reasons why I went looking for mods that would allow me to save on survival mode, right?
You've been saying that for
Game
weeks
just
and
crashes
Will
too
still
damn
keeps
much.
Yep, the
cranking.
game just crashes too
Why
damn
you
much.
so much? I gotta head into the office. You start whistling if you see any angry.
Yeah, even with our
politicians.
playthrough, our primary playthrough on YouTube here, we still get crashes now and then.
Yep. Although I'm running a pretty stable game here, I don't have too many troubles, but no. Oh, right, she's talking to me. Yeah.
Excuse me. You need this paper. Everything on the Institute, the public needs to know.
Yeah, okay.
Free paper? Sounds like quality.
I'm serious. The Institute takes people. You should read up if you're sticking around.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Okay, well, I guess I just got a copy of Public Occurrences. I'm assuming that I did anyway. It didn't show me the little message. That's another game bug too, right? You know, however you have those little
Oh, maybe you didn't.
maybe I didn't.
Hey,
Oh,
you
no,
said
there
you.
it is, the synthetic truth.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep.
But you know, like how you get those little heads-up messages that tells you you're hungry, you're thirsty, etc., etc. That's a game bug that every now and then those things stop displaying.
Yeah.
And then if you restart the game, it'll start to... Oh, there you are, right there.
Yeah,
Wow.
right in the door.
Right in the door. Yeah.
Why are you calling me that?
Because of the blue jumpsuit you're wearing.
Yeah. This is another one of the
So
alternate
here's
start
the deal.
lines.
Yep.
I want an interview. Your life story.
Well, the
in print.
interview gets drastically shortened because you're not a vault dweller, so a lot of the questions in the interview are irrelevant now,
I'll tell
right?
you what,
Yep.
I'll come with you.
So
Watch
it becomes a
your back.
very short
Get used to the
interview.
world above ground.
I'm not a vault dweller, but
All right, Piper. I'm in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get down to business. So, you've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
Can you even compare the two? The world out here? It's not even close to the one I left.
Feeling a little homesick, are we?
Uh,
Can't say I blame you. For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. I want you to make
See,
a
I think
statement
they
to
skipped
Diamond
over
City
like 2 or
directly.
3 questions here.
Kidnapping
Yep.
is all but ignored in the Commonwealth. Everyone
It's
wants
fine. We're just
to
speaking to the
pretend
quality of public
What would you say
occurrences
to
here.
someone out there
Yeah.
who's lost a loved one but might be
Well,
too
I mean, you know
scared
what? The
to
guy
know
who
to
made the
world
Start Me
for
Up mod, he did the best that he could,
You can only take it one day at a time.
but there's only so much you can do,
Just
right?
keep going.
Yep.
That's all anyone can do.
We're all just doing what we have to, huh? I think my readers can relate to that.
But he
That's
managed to
everything.
do this without
gonna
actually
take some time to put
destroying
this
the
all
main
together, but I think your
storyline
stories
and that
will
kind
make
of thing.
Diamond City plenty to talk
Because
about.
events
Anyway,
kind of tend to steer
I
you
agreed to come
toward
with you, right?
Sanctuary eventually
Watch your
anyway,
back.
right?
Yep.
Just say the word
And
you're
when
ready.
you head that way,
I can't
you're
wait
going to
see
come
what
across
goes next.
Concord, and you're going to encounter Preston Garvey and do the big rescue and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's inevitable. Okay, I don't think I can pick up a whole
Well,
lot of
if
stuff here, so we'll
anyone
just
could
be
figure out a good
we'll just be selective here. Oh, we gotta pick that up though.
You need all the vodka you can get.
That's right. Gotta make some more vodka melon. Okay, what do we got in here? Mute fruit. We'll grab that too. Okay. Cigarette. Okay. That stuff alone. We'll go upstairs. We'll grab Piper's Perk magazine.
bingo.
So basically, I don't have to have Piper adventure with me ever.
Yep, you can just
I just have her perk.
boot her to the curb.
Well, I don't have to recruit her to begin with. Why? Because
She'll get you killed.
followers will get you killed. Okay? And if you're trying to play a playthrough where you keep the number of times that you get killed down to a minimum, well, you know, you pretty much have to play using the Lone Wanderer perk and avoiding picking up followers. Anyway, we'll do a quick save here before we go outside. What are we looking for time here anyway?
We're at 1:10.
Okay, well, I think we can just about wrap this up pretty soon. We'll just have a quick trip around the shopping area of Diamond City here.
Yep.
And maybe pick up a job off of the bulletin board, which was done much better by the Fens Sheriff's Department, by the way. The vanilla bounty bulletin board, you don't even get paid, right?
Yeah, at least you get paid by the Fair and the Sheriff's Department.
Anyone is
And not only that, but
I hear there's a bar in the theater district that's for raiders only.
her
The combat zone.
perfect hair.
I'd stay clear if I was you.
yeah, okay. So we could head down here into Fallon's basement, but I don't know that there's really anything down there that I can afford right now anyway. Do I have a Nuka-Cola on me? I do. Okay,
You do. You have exactly one.
I do. I have exactly one. Let's talk to Sheffield.
Drink liquor no more. Cola. Need a Nuka-Cola.
Hey there.
Nuka-Cola.
Here you go.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, swata,
Yep.
swata, 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 swing, swata.
Okay.
Sheffield, what do you think about coming to work for me?
Really? You mean it?
What do you say?
Okay. Well, let's send Sheffield to Red Rocket, Boston.
Okay.
We'll
Maybe this will
start
be a
up a new
fresh
settlement, and maybe we'll start up a new base there and operate out of there for a while.
Indeed.
Because Natick Banks is really, really far out of the way. And our first assignment is feral ghouls in the Mass Pike Tunnel. So we'll just do some bounty work, I guess. We'll come over here and we'll grab those can chimes.
You?
Hey,
I don't know you. Just keep your distance.
One Statue of David impression coming up.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Now just answer me one simple question. Are you human? Because I will not serve a synth.
Human as the day I was born.
Well, you do look human enough.
he has the kind of face you can trust, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like well, they're good eyes. Got it? All right. We can do business, but no funny stuff.
Okay.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
I wonder how that conversation would go if it would go any different if you were intoxicated.
I am intoxicated.
Hell. Yeah, you're still intoxicated.
Yeah, because it lasts a lot longer. I told you, I extended the duration a considerable amount. Okay, well, I'm going to sell off this Troubleshooter's Raider left leg because I can't wear it with Chef Perry's outfit anyway. And what else can I sell here? There's not really a lot else that I want to sell out of this bunch of stuff. I can sell a Rad-X. I usually only keep 2 of those on hand and sell the excess ones, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I think we're in pretty decent shape for ammunition right now. Got 69 fusion cells. Wow, that's a lot of money. I can't really afford that right now. Maybe I'll come back later. Let's see if she's got any aid. She's got some antibiotics for sale, though. Those are kind of expensive, too, but I think I should probably stockpile those, right? Because having one of those can be life or death. Okay. I think that's about all I want to buy from her. Or anyone else, for that matter, for the time being. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to Red Rocket, Boston, and do some scrapping and maybe see if I can build a couple of things there.
Yep.
But I'll do that off camera, and we'll end the episode here.
Alrighty.
So, I don't know whether you'll see Chef Perry again or not. The main purpose of doing this episode was that I wanted to show off the Cooking with Chef Perry mod. For the purposes of, like uploading the mod in a day or two to the Nexus.
A little extra content here and there don't always hurt, though.
Yeah, but if people like this, if we get, a few views and some likes and some favorable comments, well then, if you guys like Chef Perry and you want to see more of him, well then maybe we'll do more of him. Like I like playing with Chef Perry. He's kind of fun. So, anyway, I guess...
until next time.
Yeah. Until next time, I'm Sandman99.
And I'm Rec B5. Have a good one.